my Hill. Hello, hello, hello. Whew. Good evening, guys. Hey, honey, my surgery went well. I still can't move my left arm, or I can't raise it. I can move it a little bit. Um, and the pain's getting better each day with physical therapy. So we're on an uphill spiral, but hence the all natural look because there's not a whole lot I can do with one hand. And if any of you know, hubby is not that great with hair. So, have any of you guys been watching the interviews that have been going on post-season? I think I have finally gotten caught up. Thank you, Karen. It's good to be back. I missed you guys. I feel like I've been gone forever. Um, yeah, with one hand, exactly. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of the interviews the last couple of days, and a lot going on. Um, it seems like Taylor and Joseph are still having the time of their life, which I'm glad to see. They have not come out and said that they were dating. I think they said they were going to be friends, but they're still at Todrick's house in LA, and they're still um, continuing to join all the local events that are going on postseason together. They've been doing a lot of Instagram lives. A couple of them watching the shows together. Taylor asked Joseph if he would watch a few with her. And uh, so he has done that. We got some of her response to some of the stuff. It was kind of hard to hear at times because they had her phone set up on her and Joseph, and they had Joseph's phone set up from behind on the TV. So it was kind of hard to tell who they were talking about at times. I know there was one time during the mermaid competition that they had that someone said something, either go Taylor or something to that effect, and she was like, shut the F up. Play. I think I I want to say that it may have been Monty, but I'm not sure. Um, yes, Daniel did show up at Todrick's house and actually stayed, I believe, a couple of days. The only one that did not show up at Todrick's house was Paloma. Um, and Karen, yes, they are taking the cruise together. She said on one of the interviews that when she was asked that question, she said yes, Joseph would be going on the cruise with her. And she said, don't worry, Mom, I'm going to send you to Bora Bora. So I guess she's buying her mom and her grandmother a trip to Bora Bora while her and Joseph go on the cruise together. Um, let's see. The blue guy. Hey, honey. Uh, that was hard to watch. The facial expressions. The facial expressions when she was watching it was hard to watch. But one thing that I found hilarious was, I know that y'all remember the segment that they did where they wasted a whole, I don't know, 15, 20-minute segment on the love story that was Kyle and Alyssa. And the way that those two were looking at each other and the looks that they were giving each other was flipping hilarious. I could not stop laughing at them. Tara, is Todrick the official Big Brother after host? I have no idea. I know he was there the night of the finale. when they had the big party and they had all BB alumni um, from all seasons that you can imagine. He was there the first night, but I have not seen Todrick in the house on any of the lives that any of them have been doing. As far as I can tell, Indy is still there. Joseph and Taylor are still there, and Monty is still there. I believe everybody else has went home. Um, and again, I think it's a way for Todrick to keep his name out there. He's not doing this out of the generosity of his flipping heart, which honestly, it came up again, uh, and it does every time now that he hosts anything at his house. Page six put out an article where he's $120,000 in arrears of rent again, and the people that own the home are suing him again for that. If y'all remember, I believe it was when it was after Celebrity Big Brother, and I did a piece or a video on him after he got out of the Big Brother house and went on his tour. Is when it came out that he was at that time he was $90,000. He's paying $30,000 a month for that house. AG, sit down. I heard they charge them to stay there. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it at all if Todrick does. He may not charge them, but I think that he may charge CBS. I don't know. I don't know that for a fact. But I can't see him doing it out of goodness of his heart, because anybody that watched him on Celebrity Big Brother knows that his heart is not that big. Yeah, I'm still a little bit bitter about that. Um, yes, he was ordered to pay the money to the landlord. I just keep waiting for the time when he actually gets evicted. But I want to just start with, I don't know if any of you saw today uh, the Instagram live that Indy did with Paloma. Did any of you guys see that? When I saw her announce that she was going to be doing this Instagram live with Paloma, it was hailed as, let me pull it up so that I get it right. Oh, wait. Joseph and Taylor are actually live right now on Instagram while they're getting ready for uh, whatever party they're going to tonight or whatever event. Uh, Come on, where's Indy? She shouldn't be that far down. I just watched it. Oh, there she is. It says Indy Santos and Paloma. I can't pronounce her last name. Um, God, I'm not good with this technology stuff. It says Indy Santos and Paloma talk about mental health. And I'm like, number one, Indy is not any kind of mental health therapist. She keeps saying she studied mental health. Hell, I studied Big Brother. That don't make me an expert on it. So I was like, what the hell could this possibly be? So I watched it. And, oh, Karen, you didn't watch anything else after Taylor won? Oh, girl, there's been all kinds of stuff going around. There has been all kinds. I wish Bria was in here because she's more on top of things than I was. She was sending me stuff. But from what I gathered from this, was that Indy was going to try to talk to Paloma about her mental health and to make her see things the way that Indy now sees things when it comes to Taylor, which I thought was kind of ironic because Indy was right there in the mix of them, calling Taylor a bitch, saying she's going to spill hot soup on her. If we don't get this bitch out of here, she's going to win the game. Well, she was right with that, but calling her a bitch again. So Indy did just as much as Paloma did to Taylor. And she said that she was diagnosed afterwards with bipolar. And if she was actually apologetic, I probably would give her a little bit more grace. But she wasn't apologetic. She said she was apologetic. But she always added but, however, Taylor was saying nasty things. She still says, she was fat shaming. Oh my God, Jasmine. Said she was fat shaming Jasmine, which she was not. She did not fat shame Jasmine at all. And anytime that Indy called her on any of it, she would start talking about her mental health, doing this, and my mind wasn't clear. And that she was diagnosed with bipolar and she was having a manic episode. Paloma was who Paloma was day one. Yes. Towards day 6, even I said on some of my videos, something's not right with her. She's having some kind of mental episode. This can't be for real. But she's still making excuses. Still saying that Taylor said nasty things to her. To me, that's not someone who's being apologetic. She says that it was her mental health that made her say all the ugly stuff that she was saying. Indy did take some ownership and say, hey, I was saying some bad stuff too behind Taylor's back. But then I confronted Taylor and I talked, and then we talked afterwards and I apologized to Taylor. And Taylor has said that. Taylor has said her and Indy are in a good spot. I still don't think that she's dealing in reality. She said that she did get on bipolar meds. And if that's true, I have nothing but hope that she'll get better. But with her sticking with the original story from day one, and she just keeps going on and on about the mental health. When she walked into that house, she started on Taylor. She had had sleep. She had had rest. She had had food. It was day 1 when she started in on Taylor. And even after she got out of the house, if she was diagnosed and she got on meds, and then she went and did the whole TikTok saying that Taylor bullied her and bullied all the other girls, which we know that wasn't true. And Indy actually said, as soon as I got out, my friends started sending me, she said cuts, but I'm sure she meant clips of things that Paloma was saying about her. Oh, well, she doesn't understand that she's Brazilian. Oh, well, she's Brazilian. She doesn't get it, whatever. And I think in Paloma's mind, she was taking up for Indy. But in Indy's mind, to her, that was hurtful because she was saying, I guess, basically the same thing you would say about racism. She was saying what she was saying because she was of a different culture. And Paloma apologized to her and told her, no, that's not what I meant. I was taking up for you, whatever. And then Paloma says, you want to get real? She says, when I said that Taylor was a pageant girl and that did my little wave and that she had to go, she said, CBS told me to say that. And she said, and I'm probably going to get in trouble from CBS. She said, but I don't care. She said, they told me in the DR what to say. And Indy said, they might have alluded to that, Paloma, but they couldn't make you say anything that you didn't want to say. It's in our contract. Um, and she said, well, I was just thinking about it being good TV or whatever. And I was just going with the flow. I was doing what CBS told me to do. Again. Um, and in not in defense of Paloma, but I actually saw a clip today for the first time. I remember seeing it on the live feeds, but when I saw it today, it reminded me. When Taylor and Monty were in the bathroom, Monty asked Taylor, have you talked to Paloma today? And she said, yeah. She said, she's worried that you guys are going to be coming after the girls. And it showed Monty, Joseph, Kyle, and Michael, I believe, is what they screenshotted back to. And Monty took that and told the guys that Taylor was telling him that Paloma was coming after the big dogs. That was never said. So Monty could say he's being lied to all he wants to. He's the one that started that shit. He's the one that twisted what Taylor said when he went back and told the guys about it, which in turn, and twisted it too when he went back to Paloma and talked to Paloma about it. So he stirred that little rat's nest. He started it. I don't care what anybody says. But as I was watching, that's all I'm going to talk about with that interview today, because I just didn't see it as being all that important. But I was watching Taylor and Joseph get ready a while ago on Instagram for whatever event that they're going to tonight. And somebody had asked in the comments if Paloma had called her today, because Indy told Paloma that she was going to send her Taylor's number, because Paloma said, I did apologize, but it was in a DM. Now, if she doesn't open that, then, I've done my part. And Indy said, no, if you're going to make an apology, I'm old school. You don't do it through a computer. You don't do it through an email. You call the person up and you talk to them and you say, hey, I'm sorry I did this, this, and this. So Paloma says, send me her number and I'll call her. So somebody asked in that chat if Paloma had called her today. And Taylor said, yeah, she called me today because somebody gave her my number and I didn't answer. And I'm not going to answer. And I was amazed at the number of people that went in on Taylor saying, oh, well, that just shows how catty you are. Like, really? She's catty because she's not going to answer Paloma's phone call? Some of these people out here need to get a freaking life, because that is ridiculous. Anyway, I watched a lot of the morning interviews, and he's using the excuse, oh, well, I don't remember exactly what happened. I haven't had time to watch it because I've been out here and I've been doing all the interviews, and I've been taking advantage of all the things that's been coming my way and working with different people with branding and things of that nature. So I just haven't had time to watch it. And then he says, I know that there's people out there that think that I owe America an apology, and I don't feel like I owe anybody but Taylor an apology. And Taylor and I will have that discussion once I've watched everything back to see what I said. It ain't been 3 weeks since you sat in that kitchen right before finale night and drug her. It ain't been 3 weeks since you sat there and watched her in the bathtub and drug her. Your memory can't be that bad. he's doing the whole, oh, I don't know, I have to go look. Um, and he talks about in one interview, I think it was with Derek and Cody, he talks about Michael and Brittany. And he is honestly more pissed off at Michael and Brittany than he is Kyle. He made excuses after excuses for Kyle. But Michael and Brittany, they don't get that same grace. Why is that? He's also said in several interviews, because people have said, what went on when y'all went in the have not room and y'all had that discussion, because they cut the feeds. We weren't allowed to see any of that. What actually went on in there? And he says that I was just kind of feeling Michael and them out just to see what they were doing, and told them, well, let's not say anything this week. Let's wait till next week and use it to get Kyle out, just to see what they would say. So not only Michael and Brittany used it for game, Terrence used it for game, and now we're hearing that Monty, out of his own mouth, used it for game. Although he's saying, oh, I was just testing them. I was just throwing it out there to see what they would say. Bullshit. Bullshit. And the thing is, if they hadn't have done that, Michael wouldn't have went home that week. Brittany wouldn't have went home that week. It would have been Monty or Taylor that would have went home that week. So I find it funny that he blames Michael and Brittany more than he blames Kyle, and Kyle's the one that said it. It's like, what the hell, people? Yeah, T. Williams. She is having problems still with her thoughts. T. Williams, I like how Indy was trying to make. Oh, wait. I like how Indy was trying to make think about what she was saying, but it wasn't getting through to her. Yeah, she just kept on and kept on. He just kept on. And yeah, Tara, he did plant the ideal. Just like he planted the ideal about Taylor. You're absolutely right. Hey, coffee boy, glad to see ya. I'm getting up there. I still can't lift my arm. I can move it a little bit if I use my fingertips to kind of walk it up something. I can do that, but I can't raise it as of yet. So, but I finally have had 3 days now without painkillers, so I'm good. You saw lots of Taylor interviews past few days. She's even did one this morning. Yeah, she's making the rounds. She's definitely making the rounds. I'd like to know how to get in on that, because I would love to have a few of them on here, but I don't think that'll happen this year. We'll see. I'm going to keep trying. Yeah, Taylor said that all the girls have apologized to her. Um, and oh, another thing that in one of her interviews, let me find this, that I felt was kind of funny. Um, her interview that she did this morning with Kamisha Reviews. I don't know if any of you are on Twitter, but Kamisha is one of the ones that was doing a lot of the spaces on Twitter during Big Brother. And she said that she did make amends with Nicole. And she said that Nicole and Daniel's friendship had become tumultuous and that they were not friends anymore. So I don't know what happened postseason, but evidently Nicole took a look back, looked at everything, made her amends to Taylor, and apologized to Taylor for everything. But her and Daniel are no longer friends. So I guess the only one Daniel has in his corner at this point is still Paloma. Yeah, Kamisha is Camesha. I have not watched the complete 6 hour breakdown of Taryn's interview with her. My attention span has not been that long right now between trying to do physical therapy and napping and trying to get around. But I will watch a little bit of that at a time. Sassy, yes, big sassy. Nicole did seem very apologetic. There's some people that I think Jasmine did it because she knew uh, it wasn't a good look, and she has a business to protect as well. Um, I don't think all of the apologies that Taylor got were heartfelt, but I will say that if Taylor has forgiven anyone, it doesn't matter who it is. I don't really see the public need to keep dragging those people. If they've made good with Taylor, she's accepted their apology and she's moving on. I don't think it's for any of us to say one way or another whether they should still be drugged. I mean, none of us, unless you've been in that Big Brother house, know what that's like. So it's just a lot of the Twitter and the Instagram and just seeing people come out of the woodwork, and I'm like, some of these people are obsessed and they make Paloma look sane. Bria, you're finally here. You're here. I just said I wished you were here because you were more up on all these interviews than I was because you were still sending them to me when I was on painkillers, and I was like, okay, I can't comprehend this shit right now. Welcome, Bria. I'm glad to see you're here. Coffee Boy. I also saw Turner interview with Tiffany. That interview was flipping hilarious. If y'all have not watched any of the interviews, go to Miss Tiffany's. You can find her, I guess, on Twitter or YouTube. Uh, her interview with Turner was so flipping funny to me. I have not seen Tiffany get that tickled with anybody. And I mean, she couldn't stop laughing. She could barely conduct the interview. Um, yeah, Coffee Boy, exactly. I mean, he had her laughing for a good 5 minutes. Yeah, he went home. He's like, I've got a business to run. I can't love to stay in Los Angeles, but I can't, So him and Megan Del Monte has gone home. Williams, I watched her interview on Rob Has a Podcast. I was surprised about some of the production's involvement. I've not seen that interview. I need to go watch that one. They told Taylor to walk around the house with the finale outfit that first time. Well, I don't think production told her to walk around the house in that outfit. The girls told her to. There's a clip of her trying on different outfits. And it was Jasmine, Indy, Amira, and Alyssa. And they started talking about finale outfits and her different gowns and stuff that she brought. They goaded her in to putting on the outfit and then strutting around the house. And that wasn't production, that was the girls. Bria, Twitter has drove me insane. 1 second, I get over the drama, and then the people drag you right back in. Oh, I don't think they're all teenagers. I think they're all nuts. Twitter it's a good source of information. to get from one point to another, but it's hard some days on there to actually read some of that crap. It's like, are you people flipping serious? These are everyday, average, normal people like you and me. We don't know what it's like to be in a house and being on constant camera and mic 24/7 for 3 months. I'm sure they would catch me saying some shit too. Thank you, Deborah. I missed you guys too. I was like, I'm so bored. I want to do something, but I can't really do a lot of the recording right now. So I thought I'll start doing a few lives and jump back into it that way. So I got that one. Got that. Also, I watched the interview today with Chada and Rachel. Uh, and that's the one that she said that she would be taking Joseph on the cruise. She also said in that interview that she has been in contact with Lays. Does that surprise any of us? Doesn't surprise me at all. They have contacted her through her DM, and she is working with them on something, but she won't say what that something is. Um, she also said that Amazing Race is in the cards, uh, but she wouldn't say who was joining her. She said, I have a partner in mind, but she wouldn't say who that partner was. I would not be surprised. Number one, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Joseph, because everybody is just, this whole Taylor Joseph thing is nuts. Yeah, Bria, straight out of macadamians. Um, but she wouldn't say who it was. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was Joseph. But my first thought when she said what she said, if you had to pick one player from this season of Amazing, or this season of BB, to go on Amazing Race with her, and think about it strategically, logically, who you would pick. My pick would be Michael. You're not going to get a better, well-rounded competitor than Michael out of that season. I may be wrong, and we shall see. But I fully expect to see her on the Amazing Race. Somebody asked her about the challenge, and she didn't seem like she was too interested in doing that. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna, Taylor did say that she would take Michael. Coffee Boy, I haven't seen that anywhere. The one interview that I saw today, and I don't remember, I think it was on Chada's, but she said that she would like to go on the Amazing Race and that she had her partner in mind already. But yeah. Bria, I do wish more interviews would focus on her gameplay, because we still don't know how to place her as a player. She has said several things. She has said that it wasn't, what was it she said? That it wasn't necessarily that she made the moves, but that she influenced some of the moves. I love Taylor to death, but she said that she influenced the move as far as taking Michael out. They were going to do that regardless. That was going to happen. Yeah, and she did say that her gameplay was sheer survival, making sure that the other targets were in front of her. Oh, she said she would take Joe on the Amazing Race and choose Michael if she had to play BB again. I don't know. I would want the one that actually won some comps. I don't know. She has said that her and Joseph are just friends, but everybody is like just insanely gaga over the Taylor Joseph. Yeah, that's the one I was talking about, Coffee Boy. He says she also said earlier on uh, Kamisha's review interview that she played Monty just a bit to keep him wanting to get out the big target of Turner and not her. Yeah, there at the end, she did. But the thing was, again, I still don't think that anything that she said to him about Turner swayed him in any way because Monty is a logical thinker. And he went in it thinking that, like I said before, everybody that walked out of that BB house was the same as when they walked out. And they didn't like Taylor. And she rubbed people the wrong way. And he couldn't imagine a world where any of the girls would vote for her. He couldn't imagine a world where Joseph or Kyle wouldn't vote for him. Uh, he thought that there's no way Michael would vote for her because he's going to vote strictly off gameplay because he's such a super fan. So I think that Monty hyped himself up so much and just thought that he would walk out with a 9-0 vote of winning against her and not um, Turner because him and Turner played the same game. I mean, they had the same number of wins. I think Monty ended up because he won that last one with one more than Turner. Uh, I said, Bria, love Taylor, but she doesn't make the smartest game choices, so it will definitely be Joseph or over Michael. Yeah, Michael's the greatest comp beast in history. It to me, and that's the thing is I'm watching all these interviews and I'm seeing all these interviews with Taylor and Joseph and Monty. If you're going to go by stats, Turner was number 3. So if anything, it should be Taylor, Monty, and Turner. Um, but nobody's interviewing Michael. He broke records in the BB game this year, and nobody is interviewing him. And I've had half of mine. I haven't done it yet because I haven't been in my right mind. But to send him an invite to come on with us and talk with us. Um, but even Turner hasn't done a lot of interviews. He's done a few, the mainstream ones, but he hasn't done a whole lot. Coffee Boy Michael messed up his game with the Kyle Biz, unfortunately. That will stick with him and BB forever. I hope not. I really hope not. I mean, was it a game move? Yes, it was, and he should have just came out and said that. But he's going to hold all of that weight on him. What about everybody else in that house that was going to use it as a game move? What about Terrence? What about Monty? What about Turner? He was going to keep out of the game. But Michael has to be the one to carry the weight. When Michael's not even the one that said it, I'll never buy that. And I would have him on here in a heartbeat because I think he is the best player of BB24. He is the best player, and I will stick by that. Coffee Boy Turner said he was still angry at Michael holding that info and using it for the game. Yeah. Ah, Laura, good to see you, honey. Welcome, welcome. We're just chatting. Bria, this season will be remembered for two things: Taylor's journey and Michael's debut. This jailer stuff will die down. So, but I hope Michael's story doesn't get buried. I hope it doesn't either. He's a hell of a player. I mean, he broke a record in Big Brother that has not been broken in 16 years. Am I right? 16 years since Janelle had that record? That's crazy that people aren't talking to him. The blue guy. It's crazy that there's still a bunch of idiots online that act like what Michael did was worse than what Kyle did. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. That's like you going out and murdering someone and they arrest your neighbor for it just because you told your neighbor about it, but you get out scot free. Kyle ain't done no work. Kyle went right back to Utah, right back to making his TikToks. He has not come out and made a public apology. None of that. Deborah, Kyle is the one that admitted about the racist remarks. To be angry at Michael is really uncalled for. I think so too. I honestly do. And the thing is that people, like I said on the internet, they're so crazy, and it's just my way or the highway. Nobody can have difference of opinions. The blue guy, I think Michael will be back. I'm hoping so, but as wussified as CBS is, I don't know that they'll have him back. It depends on if this crap dies down. And I can understand Turner being still upset with Michael. It was his HOH. Kyle was his number two or number one, his final two. And Kyle was his best friend in the house. So I can see him still kind of being pissed off about it. But it's funny because Monty and Terrence both tried to use it for gain, but they were pissed off at Taylor because Taylor showed Michael and Brittany grace. They didn't think that Michael and Brittany deserved grace, but Kyle did. But they didn't. You'll never make me buy that crap. Deborah, I really hope Michael does come back again for a second chances. I would hope so. If they don't bring him back for a second chance, they've got some screws loose. But the only thing is, if he comes back for a second chance, he's going to be the first one out. If he doesn't win, he's going to be the first one out because everyone has seen what a comp beast he was. So he can't even hide that. He couldn't go in on another season and start throwing comps because they're not going to buy it. Coffee Boy Taylor said with Turan she was angry that they didn't show the entire Kyle week. He admitted more racist remarks, and BB decided not to show most of it. Of course they did. The only damn reason that they showed what they did is because some of it got out in the live feeds. So they had to answer for it. And if you have your casual watchers that are watching this show and you leave on Wednesday night with Taylor and was it Taylor and Brittany on the block? So you leave on Wednesday night with Taylor and Brittany on the block, and you come back on Thursday and Kyle gets evicted. People are going to want to know what the hell happened. They had to show something. They couldn't just let it go with Kyle being evicted because they had to explain why. Bria, to be clear, everyone in the final seven used race in the game except Taylor. Every single one of them. Michael being the scapegoat is disturbing. And they did. You're right. You're right. Every single one of them did. And honestly, I don't think Brittany would have even thought to use it as a game move like Michael did. I think Brittany was just following Michael because that was her number one. That's what they do. They work together. Coffee Boy, yes, on it. Same with Janelle and Last All Stars. They wanted her out immediately. Yeah, they're not. Y'all think Michael's going to last 2 days in that house? There's no way. No way. Unless he could make a hell of a strong alliance that would actually stick with it, there's no way in hell he'd make it. But yeah, Janelle, they wanted her out immediately, day one. For day one, Monty and Terrence started conversations by saying, as a black man, and they did it to push a narrative about Taylor. People ignored this. Yes, they did. They also talked about her not being a good representation for black women. They talked about her being spoiled because she was the only child. Uh, they talked about her being abrasive. They couldn't do this because she might flip out. They can't let her know about this because she might get aggressive. Taylor was the only damn one in the house, the last one in that house that would have gotten aggressive on anybody, on anything, because she handled every single thing with class and dignity. But that's okay because her karma's still coming around. Because I'm starting to see, and I don't know if y'all have noticed it, there's been a couple of events that Monty was supposed to be at, and they have since he can't make it, and Taylor's taken his spot at these events. So we'll see. One of them was a nightclub that he was supposed to be there with Joseph, and now all of a sudden he can't go to that, so Taylor's going. Deborah, exactly. Even though Michael does win comps, if he could align with the right people, I'd want him on my team. If he could keep me safe by winning comps, I would have him on my team in a heartbeat. But a lot of people see that as a threat and they want you gone. Oh, I guess we're not supposed to say threat anymore either. I'm sorry if you. I can't with some of the stuff that goes on. It's like, what else are you supposed to call someone that might jeopardize your game? If someone may jeopardize your game, whether it be a comp beast, whether it be a social, whatever, they're a threat to your game. Plain and simple. Coffee Boy, yeah. Brittany hasn't. I haven't seen any interviews with Brittany. And like I said, I think I'm going to start, like, now that I've gotten to where I can actually do a live. I think I'm going to reach out to them. Maybe Taylor could host BB in the future. I think Taylor's going to be a busy, busy woman. I think she's going to have a lot of opportunities coming her way. Monty's already talking about how he's got so many opportunities coming his way right now. I don't think that she is going to be lacking in that department. I think she's going to have all kinds of stuff. Big Sassy, I saw a Brit interview on your reality recaps. I don't remember talking about anything with Brittany. I'll have to go back and look. Bria, the revisionist history of Joseph as a player is odd. He is getting the spotlight that Michael or even Turner or Monty should get. I'm confused and all bothered by this. The reason that he's getting that is because they are playing up the whole Monty or Joseph Taylor. There's people out there that want these two to get married. They want them to have babies. They're already talking about these two having babies together. It's like, Jesus, they just got out of the house. What the hell? Um, it's like people are obsessed. Like, I don't care who she's with romantically. Don't give two shits. But there are people that are just actually stalking every move that those two make, and I don't get it. Deborah, you saw that they were at Bold and Beautiful set. Yeah, I saw that little clip. They did something, but they didn't know when it was going to air. Um, yeah, Coffee Boy, they're not on the new Love Boat. They went and did a photo shoot and I guess, meet and greet type thing of different CBS. There was a couple from The Amazing Race there. There were people from Survivor there, I believe, and there were people there from Big Brother. So, but that was just a photo shoot. Bria, I don't know. It depends on the cast. If Michael is there with a Vanessa or Tiffany or Kayla, what happens? Who's the biggest threat? Ooh, that would be. Ah, I don't know that I could say that that would be a toss up between Michael and Caleb. Caleb was good, but I don't think even Caleb. I don't think he was as good as Michael. I mean, like I said, that record's been intact for 16 years. So there's been a lot of people come and go through Big Brother. But Caleb was good too. Bria Brittany did have an interview on YouTube. I'll have to look at that. I just started watching these yesterday because, like I said, I've kind of been out of it with the pain meds and stuff. So I kind of just been laying around. But I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna get into some more of that. I'm gonna keep on until I get one of them on here. I don't know who I'm gonna get on here. It's damn sure not gonna be Paloma or Daniel, but just about anybody else I would take. The blue guy. What do you mean shippers are really weird? Coffee Boy, Spoiler Girl list, BB25 Heroes, Joseph, Michael, DX, Taylor, Tiffany, Janelle, Haley, Villains, Kylan, Josh, Polly, Monty, Rachel, Vanessa, Danny, and Caitlin. Huh. I haven't even looked at anything from her either. I know that there was a big thing between Indy and Spoiler Girl because Spoiler Girl was saying that her and Indy had been texting all day and it pissed Indy off. And she said, I don't know who this spoiler, whatever the hell it is, but she ain't talked to me. I was like, all right, Laura, I think Joseph and Taylor thing will fizzle out. I don't see it as something that's going to last as a marriage or whatever. I don't either. I think right now they're just eating it up with the cameras and all the press. It'd be a dream season for me too, but I don't believe her either. uh, Pooch is literally hanging around waiting to give anyone the time of day. Go for it. I don't even know that I could do Pooch. I don't know that I could. What the hell would you talk to him about? How stupid he was? And that's another thing. You got all these people that are going after Tiffany and then going after uh, Kat, and they're going after all these different interview people um, because they're not asking the hard questions. Number one, I don't think to get the interviews that they're getting, you have to be affiliated with CBS. You have to go through CBS to schedule these interviews. That's why, if you'll notice on a lot of these interviews, they'll say Well, we only have 30 minutes because that's what CBS has allowed them so that they can get through all of the interviews that they have to give. Um, so there's only certain questions that they can ask. And can't watch right now, adding this video to watch later. All right, thank you, Christian. But they're like, oh, you're not hard enough on them. What do you want? Do you want these people to go on and cuss these people out and all of this and then not be like ruin their entire thing that they've got going? The only thing I think that I would have asked that I have not seen asked yet, I would have asked Monty when he's saying all this stuff about he don't remember because he hasn't watched the videos yet because he's been so busy with all of these opportunities that are coming his way. So he hasn't gone back to see what he actually said to see if he needs to apologize. I would have asked him, well, do you think that she deserves an apology when you're sleeping with her and getting up the next morning and laughing with your buddy about having dreams about Amira? I would have had to ask that just to be that damn messy. That's the only thing that I can see that I probably would have asked him that everybody else didn't ask. And everybody else asked the same questions. They may be phrased a little bit differently, but they're all asking the same questions. So they've got to have some kind of guidelines that they have to go by. Where are we at? Oh, there. Shippers are obsessed with people getting into relationships on TV shows. Yeah. Hey, Bria, here's a question for you. I've noticed on Twitter the last couple of days when I am looking for stuff, something will be said and it's like there's supposed to be a name or something there, but it'll say redacted. And I'm like, is that something that people are doing because they don't want to say Monty's name? Or is that something that Twitter's doing? I thought you might have the answer to that one. Pooch just went back to New York from Todrick's house. Now it's just Monty, Taylor, and Joseph there. I don't know. I thought that Indy was still there because she posted something from there today. Yes, I will be reaching out to, I think I'm going to reach out to Brittany and Michael. Just see how, it can't hurt anything, right? Coffee Boy, I see a dozen different YouTube interviews with Taylor each day. She must have done hundreds so far. Yeah, and she's actually doing some not mainstream people that I've never heard of. And like I said, I've been watching Big Brother and watching the recap shows on Big Brother for years. I've watched all of Big Brother, every episode they ever had. But when YouTube came around, I started watching the people that were out there doing the recap shows and stuff. And I don't ever remember seeing some of these people. And I watch them all because I like to get different perspectives. And that's why when I started doing this, that I thought, I'm going to not just give an overall summary of what happened. I want to give word to word conversation so people can make up their own mind. Yeah, I put my 2 cents in, but you have the full story there and not just my opinion. I bet she's done a couple of hundred already. Priya. Oh, I love you guys. I missed y'all. Actually, I miss Big Brother. I did nothing but watch live feeds for 3 months. And now it's like, okay, what do I do with myself? A Mona bought in the house. That'd be funny. Uh, the blue guy. In one interview, Monty mentioned he didn't realize the feeds were always on all the time and people would be taking notes. There's a lot of them that didn't realize that. You guys have to remember, this isn't the old BB. The old BB was people who actually watched the show, watched the live feeds, knew all about it. I would say a good 80% of these people now are all um, recruited. They don't know much about it. They get accepted onto the show and they're like, oh, well, let me go binge watch a couple of seasons. And that's all they do is they watch the show. They don't go back and watch any live feeds. They don't know about the live feeds. And I took all kinds of notes. So every once in a while, I'll just DM Taylor, like the Monty in the doghouse link, just to see if she ever opens up any of those. Because the girl doesn't even realize that, yeah, she's got a lot of fans, but she had a lot of mamas out here. And I know y'all saw me on some of my really pissed off days, and it was like, that was my daughter. What would I do if that was my daughter? That's how I felt. Bria, it is Monty, and the people are doing it on purpose. Okay, I thought that may be the case, but I was like, what? I don't know what that means. Coffee Boy, you should definitely reach out to Michael and Brett. Yeah, I'm going to. It'll probably be next week sometime, or maybe tomorrow if I get rambunctious after physical therapy. Oh yeah, the more exposure she's getting, the better for everything. She's going to have so many opportunities. She's going to be able to pick and choose exactly what she wants to do. Well, she did. I saw one today where she said that somebody asked her about going on Love Island, and she was like, "No, that's not for me." She said, "No, I'll think about the Amazing Race." She said, "But I would never go on Love Island." Sissy Sienna's return to Modern BB. Yeah, exactly. Coffee Boy Turner said he watched 7 seasons. I think Taylor saw 4. Yeah, she saw. Even she said that last year's season, she said she watched it until the cookout made it until the 6th, and then she didn't watch it again until finale night. She said that I don't know how many times on the feeds. And I don't think that they watched full seasons. But now Turner, his girlfriend Megan was a huge BB fan, and the reason that he actually even watched them, or he did apply to the show, but the reason that he did watch them is because Megan saw Kevin. They lived in the same area or something, and they were driving around one day, and she saw Kevin and hollered out to Kevin, and Turner said, "Who is that?" And she told him, and so that she made him go back and start watching some of the shows with her. Bria, were you able to turn off your VPN? BB Canada or old shows can help fill time. No, I have not even worked with that yet. I mean, I have enough to do. I haven't done a video on Survivor or Amazing Race, but I think for right now, I think the lives are going to be easier for me, just because I can't. There's a lot of stuff I can't do with the filming and stuff, so the lives are just easier. Coffee Boy. Oh, and Turner also said on Winner's Circle with Tiffany that he was number 25 to be on last season. Yeah. And she said, "Oh, well, I don't know what would have happened to you if you'd have been on, I don't know what would have happened to you if you'd have been on there. You wouldn't have done as good as you did this year." But yeah, I remember that now that you say that. He was. He was number 25 to be on last season. Yeah, Taylor was offered Love Island, and she said Big Brother. Priya, I'm convinced you and I would either be the final two or bitter rivals. We're too similar. Girl, I still say I'd be kicked out the first day. There's no way. With this mouth, they would be like, no, she's got to go. Um, but I mean, they're all staying busy. Uh, Kyle pretty much has gone back to Utah. He's making his TikToks again, back at his mama's basement. Uh, Alyssa's going back to what is it, Saratoga, um, and doing her thing. I know that Brittany and Steven stayed almost a week, I think, in LA before they went home. Hayden came down, so he was there at Todrick's with Michael. And I don't think they stayed as long because he had to get back for work too. Coffee boy, yes, it would be Mona's mouth has been evicted. Yes. Yeah, Sarasota, Florida is where Liz is at. Um, Daniel, I heard nothing from him since the finale. I heard nothing from Nicole. I mean, I would like to even talk to her and maybe see what she thinks her game would have been like if she hadn't aligned herself with Daniel. If she could have went a different route. Terrence, nothing from him. I know for finale night he was at Todrick's, but then I saw absolutely nothing from him after that. So I'm assuming he went home the next day. Coffee Boy, what would you have done after the first week in the BB house this season? Would you have called everyone out? Oh yes, that's the thing about me is even if I don't call them out, they're going to know it. Because if I'm pissed off or I'm irritated or I don't like you, you're going to know it by my face. I can't hide it. There's no way that I can be fake. And it's funny because my daughter, who is almost 40 now, my mother tells her all the time that she's just like her mama because you can tell what we're thinking by our face. But I would have so called Daniel out when he went after Taylor. And that's another thing that Taylor talked about in one of the interviews today because Kamisha was like, well, why? How did you feel about, first she said Monty and Terrence standing there. And she said, well, I'm not just going to say the brothers. I'm going to say all the guys. How did you feel when that happened? And nobody stood up. And Taylor was very hurt by that. She said that was the most alone that she had felt in the house since she walked in the door. Terrence put out a new crock pot recipe on Cameo. I hope you're joking. Good Lord. Daniel made one comment about an anonymous house guest who gets hype but has been lying. He said the truth will be revealed and he wants to speak on it, but will wait. Had not heard that. Who the hell could he be talking about? You know it's got to be Joseph or Taylor. Coffee Boy Taylor said that Jasmine said wants to save it and walk away once so she wouldn't lose her cool. Oh yeah, and when Taylor said that today, I'm sorry, y'all. That's one. I love Taylor, and I will start out by that. But there's so much that I do not agree with her on. When she said that Jasmine's. When Daniel's hollering at her, and Jasmine said, just walk away, Taylor, just walk away. Now's not the time, or something to that effect. That Jasmine was taking up for her. That's some bullshit. I'm sorry. That is bullshit. Jasmine was not taking up for her. Jasmine was being sarcastic and coddling Daniel. She was sitting right beside Daniel. Oh, that I know that Taylor wants to believe the best of everybody, and that's not always possible. I think that Taylor is a bit naive and too trusting. I think maybe that'll come with age. I don't know. Maybe that's just her personality. Oh, I don't know what I just did there, but sorry. Okay. But there's no way in hell that Jasmine was taking up for her. There wasn't a damn person in the house that took up for her. And I have to go back and watch it because she said that Joseph was actually in the bathroom, like in the toilet. And I don't remember. I remember seeing Monty. I remember seeing Jasmine and Amira. And Nicole. I'd have to go back and watch the whole. Well, they didn't play the whole scene. I guess I'd have to go back and watch the show that aired that night, and it would be on that. But no, she did not. No way in hell was she taking up for her. And so she wouldn't lose her cool. Bullshit. That is such bullshit. Bria, I'm telling you, those Jailer fans are freaking nuts sometimes. And that's all right. They can come from me. Smelling McSmellus. Yeah. Kamisha Taylor said that she was too good. She was too nice for her own good. And Kamisha said, yes, you are. Yeah, that was today's interview that I watched. Daniel's just a bad person. To hell with playing. He was just a bad person. Oh, I have no doubt, Coffee Boy, that super fans can suck at the game. They can suck at life too. I don't know. I think Daniel was a super fan, but I think I think his ego is so inflated that he thought he was playing one hell of a game. Shannon Taylor has pegged Monty in her post interviews. She figured out how arrogant he is. Oh, yeah. Yeah. What was it she said? On one of the lives, it was Joseph, his brother, and Taylor, and it looks like they were laying in a bed on an Instagram live talking, and somebody asked where Monty was, and she said he's left the building. Bria Taylor has the thickest blinders on with people she cares about. She really does. I hate that. Everyone in that house has wronged her, but she pretends like certain people were her superheroes. I know. Coffee boy. I'd have those those Taylor fans running for their lives. Hey, what's the old saying? Any press is good press. Coffee boy, Daniel has bigger ego than Elvis ever did. Yeah. Bria, I'm obsessed with the idea of monadrose on BB. If they even think about evicting her, I'm more yelling. I have to say, all jokes aside, whoever the hell did the wall yelling, and they've even got on a Twitter and said, "Oh, that was me. I was the one that orchestrated that." And da 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 da. Da. You deserve your ass whooped. That's the end of that story. For us not to receive feeds for the entire freaking week, just about, because some idiot wants to go yell over a wall, that's something that may or may not help. But they have said that they did hear what was being said, um, and that I think it was Turner. I think Turner said in one of his interviews that they did hear what was being said in the backyard before they started blaring the music. Brea, it was Taylor's pageant friend Raven. At least one of them was her. She admitted it. That was one of Taylor's friends. Wow. Just wow. Wow, wow, wow. Mm. I still think they ought to have their ass whooped. Oh yeah, as soon as they said they were going to be living in the backyard, it's like, what the hell did you think was going to happen? Now, if they were to do that house split and they had another studio that they could have put the other half of them in, that's one thing. But they've had wall yellers every single year. The excuse me. The only difference is, oh, the only difference is they weren't living in the backyard. They were able to scoot them in the house, lock them down, get rid of whoever it was, and then life went on as normal. Um, but if you're living in the damn backyard, you can't get away from it. Coffee Boy, I'm sad no Celebrity BB has been announced. I am afraid that we are not going to have a BB, Celebrity BB, because that's something that they normally announce at the end of BB, and they didn't. They're already talking about BB 25. So I don't know. We may not get one this year, and that's going to suck. Not only for us, but my pocketbook. I mean, the rest of all of the videos and the lives and everything, that's pretty good. But where I make my money off of YouTube is strictly off of the videos and the hours or the number of views and the number of ads that are watched and things like that. And people watch it because most people don't have the live feeds, or they do have the live feeds and they want to talk about what's going on the live feeds. Whereas if you're doing Survivor or Big Amazing Race, anything like that, then you've seen the same thing that I'm going to talk about. So it's just not as much revenue comes in. But I hope they do come back. Who would y'all want to see for Celebrity Big Brother? I still want to see Nene Leakes in the house. Shannon, you're glad that Joseph's gotten more popularity than Monty. Joseph was always more popular than Monty. He never had it. They don't even stack up. Coffee Boy, I feel like they had plenty of room upstairs in that huge bar comp room. Yeah. Well, and they have a basement. They have a whole basement that runs underneath the house. Because we've heard them talking about it before. And that's where a lot of times they'll take them for other comps. And they have other studios that they set up comps in. So they could have set up a makeshift BB house if that's what they wanted to do. Brea, I don't have the time, nor do I care enough to walk hill, but for Mona Rose, I would climb. I still love you, girl. Oh, y'all kill me. Okay, we'll switch and talk about a little bit of Survivor. Where are we at? Bria, I know this is about BB really quick. I'm not feeling the new Survivor season. Maybe BB spoiled me. Um, I haven't felt the last couple of years of Survivor. And when they went down to the 28 days, they basically dumbed down the game. I said it before. I don't like it that they're just giving them idols. They're not having to go out and look for idols. You know, they're letting them go on these journeys to get all these advantages and stuff instead of hiding the stuff in the jungle like they always did. And it's not just enough that, oh, I wanted to be on Survivor all my life, or I wanted to be on Survivor for 10 years or whatever. Everybody's going to have a feel good story. And it's like if you don't have this amazing story, then you don't get cast anymore. And I'm having a hard time really getting into this year now that I'm off of all of my medicines and stuff. Maybe I'll start getting into it, but it's really getting stale. It's like COVID messed up everything, in my opinion. I think BB is the only thing that's actually still running the full 3 months that it normally runs. Everything else, all these other shows, they've shortened out the challenge. That starts Wednesday. Is that Wednesday? Yes. The challenge MTV starts Wednesday, and I cannot wait. That's what I'm excited for. But I'm hoping that Survivor will get better. But just going down from 40 days to 28 days, it doesn't seem like a lot, but there's a lot that goes into that. Coffee Boy, I have never watched an episode of Naked and Afraid, and I don't think that I can bring myself to. That's just a show that says never interest me. Bria, Celebrity Big Brother, you want Kenya, Latoya, and Clay Aiken. Oh, Clay would be fun. I'd like to see Nene. I really would like to see her to see what she could do on there. And honestly, I would like them to find some celebrity fans that actually watch the freaking show so that they know what the hell they're doing when they get in there. That's the only thing I don't like about Celebrity Big Brother is not enough of the players know how to really play the game. Like, I mean, Miss Cynthia, she couldn't imagine that anyone would be that deceitful and lie over $250,000. That she just didn't understand how someone could do that. It's like they need to get players in there that actually know what they're doing. And if they're not going to give us a celebrity BB, they want to do a shortened season. Give us a Legends. Give us a 30-day Legends in there. Coffee Boy. I also love BB UK. We'll just drop in a new house guest or 3 in the middle of the season. That would be cool. I think it makes the game more fun and unfair. Yeah, that would actually be cool. One time they chose a final 3 member on the first day. Oh wow. Shannon Elizabeth back. That would be good. Coffee Boy. Celebrity BB UK lasted over 16 seasons. Insane. They were all great too. I didn't even know they had a Celebrity BB for UK. Yeah, Blue Guy. Survivor used to be a lot better. When they went, in my opinion, when they went down to 28 days, But when they started doing this 3 tribes at the beginning, that's, to me, it just makes it more boring. It's like there's not enough of them on there to really choose who's going home. If you go to tribal council, there's only 6 of you, whereas you have 2 tribes that have 9 in each one. There's a lot more strategizing and a lot more alliances and stuff being built. All right, guys, I am coming up on an hour and a half, and my arm is starting to go numb the way I'm holding it. So I am going to call it a night. Jay is traveling this week. I hope that maybe either Sunday or Monday night I can get with him and we can do something on Survivor maybe. And I'm going to still be watching some more videos and things. I'm going to reach out to Brittany. I'm going to reach out to Michael. I will probably reach out to Turner. He seems like he may be, I don't know. I think he still thinks it's all cool. So, thank you, Bria. Appreciate it. So I'm going to reach out to some more people and we'll see where that goes. But until next time, guys, thanks for hopping back on with me. I appreciate it. And I will see you guys in a few days. Hugs to you guys too. As always, much love and night.